Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 2 in this series between GosWser versus FXO's Strelok. Strelok currently up 1-0 in this series. This series was taken from the Zotac Cup. Once again, I do want to give credit where credit is due. Thanks for releasing these replays as well. It gives casters like me a time to polish my skills and hopefully make it big one day, perhaps at a WCS event qualifier or something of that nature. Now, this is going to be a Terran versus Zerg matchup here on Whirlwind. GosWser spawning on the top right-hand side of the map as the teal Zerg. Meanwhile, FXO Strelok spawning as the red Terran. TVZ and what we saw in the previous game on Neoplanet S, I do believe the openings will be rather similar. With a map as large as Whirlwind, both players should feel fairly comfortable trying to go for hatchery and command center first. However, Strelok always wants to prove me wrong, quickly goes for a refinery first, and it looks as though it will be a refinery followed by a barracks. Now the question will be, will Strelok invest in an early barracks to go for early Reapers, or is he gonna go for an early barracks to go for reactor Hellions? Both have their ups and their downs. Meanwhile, GosWser already going for I believe that very fast hatchery here, and now we are going to see how things unfold. GosWser not going to be aware of what we spot here for quite some time, and based upon the location of this barracks, I'm not quite sure why he's building it in such a curious location. You can take a look. It is a bit out of the way. It is a bit unorthodox, as we're looking at this barracks down off over here. Are we going to be seeing a factory followed up, or could we perhaps see Reapers and a reactor? Nope. That is not going to be the play at all. It will be a reactored Hellion, as a Marine is currently being trained. Early scouting now coming in from, or rather just scouting now coming in from both of these players. GosWser still has no idea where his opponent is, and this is some of the ups and downs of a map as large as Whirlwind. You don't really know what your opponent is doing, and even if you pull off a scout early, you may not necessarily find out what your opponent is doing still. It does take a bit of time to get your units over there, as we are looking at the completion of this factory and the completion of this reactor. Meanwhile, the front door does have triple supply depots, and I know 8 banelings who would love to just sacrifice themselves onto this, even though it would be very resource inefficient. It would still be efficient in the sense of Terran players would lose 24 supply in nearly an instant. Hellions about to make their way out across the field. It looks like Strelok does know where GosWser is already and will be out to meet and greet. Meanwhile, GosWser already going into 3 queens. I'm surprised it is not a 4th as of yet, as Zerg players generally need that extra creep tumor. Zerglings is going to be pushing themselves forward, only to see 2 Hellions barreling down on them, and that may be a bit of an issue, as the Hellions are now getting a bit of distance. Oh, 2 Zerglings going to get torched. Down they go, as the Hellions now making their way forward. Are they going to be able to kill any units? Let's take a look, as they are now going to be trying to go up the ramp. However, there is a drone and a queen there already, and the Hellion not trying to put any pressure at the natural expansion, perhaps waiting for a pair of Hellions once more. So it will be 4 Hellions against 2 queens, maybe even a 3rd queen, as Zerglings are now going to be joining in on this fight. Here we go. They're going to test the waters. There are some Zerglings. Wow, those Zerglings didn't take any damage there whatsoever. What took damage? It looked like the attack went off, but no damage was dealt at all. That is perhaps a little bit of an unlucky play by Strelok. Not exactly sure why it happened. I just know that it did happen. And yeah, like that is a loss of about 48 damage. Zerglings should be dead. I don't know if Strelok perhaps tried to move his Hellions before the attack animation had really completed, and that's why we didn't see that attack go down. Widow Mines are now making their way forward. Here we go. There's 2 Widow Mines, and they are going to be burrowing themselves. Oh, this could potentially be bad. How much damage is going to be dealt? There goes a couple of units there, as we now see that the Roaches are suffering a bit of damage. Now pulling back again. The Hellions do take a bit of time before that they can rearm themselves and engage. What is happening over here? Are they going to be able to get inside the natural expansion? It looks like they will be, trying to take down a couple of drones as the Widow Mines are still in position. All right, the Widow Mines are not making their way forward at all. It looks like they are just going to be backing off instead. Will the Roaches chase? It doesn't look like it. They will be going every which separate corner and making sure that a third base is not taken. GosWser, however, just sitting pretty with a 44 drone to 28 SCV advantage. Income, even with mules, significantly higher for GosWser, as the Hellions didn't deal that much damage. Even the Widow Mines themselves didn't get that many kills off, as we're now looking at an Overseer to clear out this Widow Mine here. All right, 1 Widow Mine will get taken down. The Overseer may now make its way off to this location instead. Never quite sure what to call this center, like center 2 o'clock location, the center 1 o'clock location. That's probably makes a bit more sense, as it's really not in any corner of the map. Strelok now looking to defend himself. So he does have siege tanks, and Strelok looks like he wants to go into very, very heavy mech again. He is getting up an additional factory. He only has 1 barracks right now, so it's not that very aggressive Terran, very fast moving, very aggressive Terran bio play. It's going to be a much more slower moving Terran mech play, similar to what we saw in the previous game. Now, if GosWser can get very good creep spread and also get this double expand in to be effective, it's going to be very difficult to attack this location at the 1 while attacking the location at the 3. If GosWser can maintain his base advantage and eventually just really surpass his opponent in terms of harvesters, he'll be able to replenish his forces much more quickly than his opponent. Meanwhile, we are going into level 1 weapons upgrade. Ventral Saxto coming in from the Zerg, so we may be seeing a bit of a doom drop here momentarily. Most Zerg players have really been attacking and just walking inside the main. You can see 1 changeling getting shot down right there. Siege tanks in a bit of trouble, or siege tanks not going to be in any trouble whatsoever unless like a changeling gets dropped on right there. That would be rather entertaining. Roaches are now moving in here as GosWser may be able to destroy this orbital command just as the units, or just as this orbital command is trying to land. That is a lot of Roaches there. Vikings, however, changeling does drop just in time. It will get taken down as more and more Roaches coming in. Oh, here you go. There are all the units. And what is going on here? The Viking sees so many targets. Does he realize what's going on? All the siege tanks have unsieged, but this is potentially game-changing. There you go. Roaches are just simply unloading themselves on top of all of those siege tanks. Hellbats trying to defend this, but GosWser going up with a straight doom drop, taking down so many units very, very quickly. SCVs trying to auto-repair, not able to do enough, as GosWser has taken down 17 workers in a matter of an instant. More siege tanks will get taken down as the Roaches are now looking to back away. What's going to be happening? The front door. Oh, what is this? Are the Overlords just going to be making their way up onto the high ground? And yes, they will be, dropping straight down onto the siege tanks again. There goes another, as Strelok is just getting completely Roach infested here at his main and his natural. A new round of Roaches are now ready to go. Perhaps they're going to start attacking the bunker. That would make a bit more sense, as we can see that GosWser is just attacking the front door. There goes the front door. Medevacs nowhere to be found, as the Hellbats are trying to push back the swarm. Zerg is now going to be retreating just a bit. Vikings cleaning up Overlords. GosWser is currently upside down on supply at 117 over 102, as the SCVs are still falling rather quickly. Strelok down to 54 supplies. GosWser at 105, as the army is much, much larger for GosWser. In addition, his worker supply is much larger. SCVs may be in a bit of trouble, as nope, it looks as though they're just going to fight back here. The Hellbats trying to give chase. This one Roach His days are numbered, but him and his brethren have dealt enough damage as a new round of roaches comes in again. All right, some mules will get taken down. There you have it. More siege tanks trying to push this wave back. GosWser can just clean up some supply depots instead. Some easy buildings to take down. And all of this will need to be rebuilt in just a moment. All right, overlords are ready to go here. Are they going to try to pick up more units? It doesn't look like it, as we are now sitting on 3 bases to 2. More roaches are ready to go in again, and our Strelok's siege tank's gonna unsiege in time. Oh, it doesn't even look like they're bothering to unsiege, as the overlords are thinking to themselves, you know what, I'll just drop inside your main and your hellbats. As fast as they're not that fast, I can just drop more roaches inside your base and clean this all up. Strelok hoping to get some roach kills, but has not really popped an overlord that has units. There you go. This is a 2-prong drop. 10 roaches will be dropping inside the natural. 12 or 11 inside the main. What's going to be happening? No, this is just constantly threatening, as GosWser is really just threatening with this attack. Not much of anything else, as the overlords may try to drop in again. All right, Strelok has not had time to rebuild his supply depots. He is still, or he was upside down on was supply block, now sitting at 78 over 94, as the overlords are they going to unload some more? It looks like, yes, it is all going to unload just in time. Here you go. 24 roaches already ready to engage. The roaches are going to be engaging to try and take down some of these hellbats. Siege tanks are really just destroying all of these roaches, though. And after all of that play, I am surprised that we didn't actually see a drop inside the main. GosWser losing a lot in that engagement, but at this point, he can let off the gas a bit and just let macro simply take over. We are now transitioning into Mutalisk, and with a tech to tier 3 and Mutalisk being added, I don't believe Strelok is ready for this tech switch at all. 9 Mutalisk will simply destroy all of these SCVs here in just a second, as the Vikings don't really know what they have to deal with yet. Here we go. There's 4 Mutalisks there. Roaches are holding that center Zelnaga tower. Vikings now perhaps trying to regroup, as the Mutalisks are now making their way over. Are they going to perhaps catch a couple of Vikings? No, are they going to bother? Yes, I believe that they are just going to go ahead and take down 1 Viking already down. There's the GG by Strelok. Strelok quickly realizing that he could not defend against the tech switch, even with a Thor on its way. No missile turrets, no marines, and a Thor does take quite a bit of time to train up, 60 seconds. All he needed to do was just hover over the factory in order to take it down. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 in this series between Strelok and GosWser.